President Donald Trump announced that the United States will recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, WION read out the lines no other media focused on. That the US president had also stressed that there was no, quote-unquote, final decision on the disputed boundaries and divided nature of the holy city. Most media coverage foresaw unmitigated bloodshed emanating from the announcement. We at WION sensed something else, that the unpredictable US president was actually opening a window of opportunity perhaps to the Islamic world. It's happening again. Senior foreign editor Padma Rao reports.
It was a meeting waiting to happen. Few eyebrows were raised when Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan earlier this week called for a one-day emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, in Istanbul to come together to jointly oppose United States President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. After all, both the Islamic world and Israel have claimed the city as their own, even though three of the world's oldest faiths have some of their holiest shrines there. The lead was taken by Mr. Erdogan and he made all the expected noises. He spewed fire and thunder at the Israelis and the Americans and declared that there can be no debate over the status of Jerusalem.
Today we declared that we recognize Jerusalem as East Palestine's capital. From now on, the capital of the state of Palestine will be Jerusalem in our eyes, and it will remain that way.
But that was the last anyone heard of an entity called Occupied Jerusalem. By the evening, a joint communique had been issued, and it is this statement that is evidence that WION's reading of the intriguing developments in the Middle East are accurate. President Trump had thrown the world a challenge by underlining the disputed nature of Jerusalem, even as he recognized very obviously Israel's sovereignty over its western part only. The Islamic world has just taken up that challenge by calling for a recognition not of unified Jerusalem, not of occupied Jerusalem, but of East Jerusalem, quote-unquote, as Palestine's capital. The American president's nuanced speech left East Jerusalem open. The Islamic world's communique has demanded East Jerusalem. Is this a next tentative step? And will there be further progress? President Trump's announcement has been condemned by many of his own allies who either failed or chose to fail to read the fine text of his speech. The Islamic world is deeply divided over Iran and the support it offers to Hezbollah, the militia organization in Lebanon too. Saudi Arabia's leaders stayed away from the emergency meeting of the OIC, as did those of its allies Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. Sunni Saudi Arabia's aggressive condemnation of Shia Iran is nothing new, nor is Saudi Arabia's clout within the OIC. But the budding relationship of Saudi Arabia and its allies to Israel, the avowed Zionist enemy, quote-unquote, is the real novelty. While the conference in Istanbul on a subject that is surely the most important for Muslims, that is Jerusalem, was taking place, Saudi television aired the weather bulletin. Saudi Arabia's Prince Salman did pay lip service through the usual utterances of support to Palestine. But in the context of President Trump and Israel, his newfound friends, he spoke of East and East Jerusalem alone. Some hours later, it was East Jerusalem, in quotes, that found its way into the communique in Istanbul. Whether it remains there will depend on the determination of the leadership, both in East and West Jerusalem. Padma Rao, WION.